In last class we studied internal memory like registers and cache memory. Okay. So in this class we will study primary memory. Okay. So this primary memory is also called as main memory. So this main memory has two types. One is RAM, another one is RAM. Okay. So this RAM stands for read only memory. So this RAM stands for random access memory. Okay. So this RAM means read only memory. So this RAM is small memory. This RAM is small memory and it is non-volatile in nature. So this ROM is small memory and non-volatile in nature. So non-volatile means this whenever the computer gets switched off, whatever the data present in ROM remains as it is. That we call it as non-volatile. So non-volatile in nature means whenever the computer gets switched off, the data present in the ROM remains as it is. So this RAM stores the BIOS. So this RAM stores the BIOS. So why it stores the BIOS means it enables the information present in the RAM. So that will be check the hardware components. So BIOS we use BIOS to check whether the hardware components is present or not. And this BIOS will load OS to the RAM. Okay. So this BIOS is used to check whether the hardware components are working or not, and then this BIOS loads the OS to RAM when the computer is booting or system is booting. So yaವಾಗ system boot ಆಗುತ್ತೆ means whenever the system gets started, that will be the system gets booted. So when it is booted, the BIOS is loads the OS to the RAM. So this is about ROM. So ROM stands for read only memory. So it is a small memory and non-volatile in nature. So non-volatile means whenever the power gets switched off, the data which is available on the ROM remains as it is. So and this ROM stores the BIOS, right? So this BIOS is used to check whether the hardware components are present and functioning properly. So and then this BIOS enables or loads the OS to the RAM when the system is booting. So yaವಾಗ boot ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ ಈ operations ನ perform ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So next we have RAM. So RAM stands for random access memory. So this RAM is faster. So this RAM is faster memory. So and it is volatile in nature. So it is volatile in nature. So volatile in nature means whenever the switch gets off, the data present in the RAM will be lost. So that we call it as volatile. Okay. So volatile means whenever the system gets switched off, the data present in the ROM or the memory is lost. Okay. So and this RAM temporarily stores the computer operating system OS. So this stores the OS and application programs and then current data. Current data means whatever we are executing at the present. So now present situation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು data process ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವೋ ಆ data store ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this RAM temporarily stores the computer operating system and then application programs and current data. Okay. So this is about RAM. So in this RAM we have 4 types. RAM has 4 types. Okay. First one is DRAM, next SRAM, next SDRAM, last one is DDR, SDRAM. So these are the 4 types of RAM. Okay. So first one is DRAM, SRAM, SDRAM and DDR, SDRAM. So this DRAM stands for Dynamic Random Access Memory. Okay, so this DRAM stands for Dynamic Random Access Memory. As the name suggests, it is dynamic. So dynamic means it is changing for every minute. Okay, so this has a refreshing continuously. So dynamic RAM needs a refreshing for continuously. Okay, so continuous age ಈ RAM refresh ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So whenever it is refreshing, it is very slow to perform. Okay, so this DRAM needs a refreshing continuously. So hence it is very slow. Okay, so this is slow because of refreshing continuously. So next is, so this DRAM is very small and cheap. Okay, so this DRAM is very small and cheap. So because it is a small in size and it is very cheap. Okay, so this dynamic RAM is accessing the data with a speed of 50 to 150 nanoseconds. Okay, so 50 to 150 nanoseconds ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ನ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೇಟಾನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. And this DRAM uses transistors and capacitors. Okay, so this DRAM uses transistors and capacitors. So this is about dynamic random access memory. Okay, so this dynamic random access memory is refreshing continuously, hence it is slow. Okay, so as the name suggests, dynamic means it is changing. Okay, refresh ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ change ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so that is. So this dynamic random access memory is refreshing continuously, hence it is slow. Okay, so and this DRAM is very small and cheap. Okay, so this DRAM is accessing speed for the data is 50 to 150 nanoseconds. So in range alli we can access the data. Okay, so next we have this DRAM uses transistors and capacitors to perform operations. Okay, so this is about DRAM. Okay, so next we have SDRAM. Okay, SDRAM stands for Static RAM. So static random access memory. So static means it is constant, right? So this static random access memory doesn't need a continuous refreshing. Okay, doesn't need continuous refreshing. So but here it needs a continuous refreshing, right? So here doesn't need continuous refreshing. So it doesn't need continuous refreshing means it performs a faster, right? Compared to DRAM, it is faster. Okay, so it doesn't need continuous or constant refreshing, hence it is faster than DRAM. Okay, So SDRAM is faster than DRAM. So and it is used in cache memory. Okay, so this SRAM is used in the cache memory because of high speed. Okay, so adu tumba fast agi performance madodrinda it is used in the cache memory. So this DRAM is used in the main memory, used as a main memory. Okay, so this SRAM is used in cache memory due to its high speed, okay, or high performance. So and then this uses the multiple transistor. Okay, so this SRAM uses the multiple transistors, around 4 to 6 transistors for a single memory cell. One cell memory cell ige around 4 to 6 transistors na use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so this and the data access speed is 2 to 10 nanoseconds. Okay, so compared to DRAM it is very faster, right? So we can access very quickly compared to DRAM. This is about SRAM. So SRAM stands for static random access memory. So this static random access memory doesn't require or doesn't need a constant refreshing. So constant refreshing bekagilla. So it doesn't need a constant refreshing. Hence it is faster than DRAM. Okay. So next it is used in the cache memory. So why? Because so it is very faster due to its high faster performance, high speed. So it is used in the cache memory and then it uses multiple transistors to perform any operations. It uses multiple transistors, around 4 to 6 transistors for a single memory cell. Okay, so and the access speed of this SRAM is 2 to 10 nanoseconds. Okay, so around 2 to 10 nanoseconds only we can access the data present in the SRAM. Okay, so this is about static random access memory. Okay, so next we have SDRAM. So this SDRAM stands for synchronized dynamic random access memory. Okay, so this SDRAM stands for synchronized dynamic random access memory. Okay, so this SDRAM is a special type of DRAM. Okay, so this SDRAM is a special type of DRAM that synchronized synchronous dynamic random access memory. So that synchronized to the system clock. So what is meant by this SDRAM means, so this SDRAM is a special type of DRAM, so that synchronized to the system clock. So what is meant by this synchronized means, so causing any operations at the same time or at the same rate. At a time ge athwa kottiro rate alli operations perform ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ we call it as synchronized. Okay, so this is synchronized to the system clock. So ಯಾವ ನಾವು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ synchronize ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ according to that speed it will be performed. Okay, so what is this means, SDRAM is a special type of DRAM that is synchronized to the system clock. Okay, suppose take an example. So if we are performing the operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, modulus. Okay, so now I synchronize these operations for the system clock as, so for addition 1 second, subtraction 1 second, for multiplication 2 seconds, for modulus 3 seconds. So I synchronize it like this. So if suppose this CPU performs the operation, so it starts with first it is in the 0th position. So when it started the addition, it will complete the addition operation within 1 second. Okay, so this is synchronization. So we are performing the operation at the same time. Okay, so are causing the occurrence of the performance. So if it is calculating or performing the addition within 1 second, we know after this 1 second the next instruction or next operation to be performed, right? So as it synchronized, SDRAM is synchronized, so the CPU know when the next cycle will be happened or when the next instruction will be happened. So ಈಗ ನಾವು addition ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. So addition 1 second ಅಂತ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ 1 second ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, subtraction ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So the CPU know when the next cycle will be happens, right? So when this knows, it takes precaution to ready the data. So next instruction ಇವಾಗ subtraction ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಡೇಟಾ ಬೇಕೋ ಆ ಡೇಟಾನ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. So if it is synchronized, next instruction will be known by the CPU, so that it will ready the data for the next instruction. So again after 1 second the subtraction will be performed, right? So that is next second. It takes only 1 second. So you 1 second ge subtraction na complete ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Again after 2 seconds it will perform multiplication, right? So after that 3 seconds it will perform modulus operation. So the CPU knows when the next instruction or when the next cycle will be performed, right? So that it will ready for the next instruction by keeping some data resides. Okay, so data na ready ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. So if it is keeping like that, so it is more efficiency. Okay, so by doing like this it is more efficiency and it reduces waiting time. So it reduces waiting time of the CPU. So ಇದು already next instruction ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ data ನ ready ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. So that the CPU cannot wait for the next data, right? So next perform ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ next data ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ wait ಮಾಡೋ necessity ಇರಲ್ಲ, because the CPU knows when the next instruction started, so that it will stores the data before starting this next instruction only. So this is about SDRAM. Okay, so SDRAM stands for synchronous dynamic random access memory. So it is one type of DRAM or one special type of DRAM that synchronized the system clock. Okay, that is synchronized to the system clock. So as it knows, it is a synchronized, so that when the CPU gets next instruction will be known by it, so that it will keeps the data ready. So that's why it has more efficiency and it reduces the CPU waiting time. So this is about SDRAM. So next we have DDR SDRAM. Okay, so it stands for double data rate SD or RAM. Okay, so double data rate synchronized dynamic random access memory. Okay, so this is same as SDRAM. So but its performance and the data access rate is double than the SDRAM. Okay. So this stands for double data rate synchronous dynamic random access memory. So it is same as the SDRAM and it performs the operations or the access time is double than this SDRAM. Okay. So this is about primary memory and its type. Okay. So in primary memory we have two types. One is ROM, another one is RAM. So this RAM has four types. One is DRAM, another one is SRAM, another one is SDRAM and DDR SDRAM. So this is about primary memory. So this completes the memory topic. So next and last topic we have is power supply to the computer system. So next topic is power supply to the computer system. So why will we supply the power to the systems? So if the system is performing any operations or working means we need to supply some power to perform or to work the computer, right? So in this power supply we have two types. Okay, one is SMPS, another one is UPS. Okay. These are the two types of power supply. So power supply has two types. One is SMPS, another one is UPS. So this SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. So this UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. So these are the two types of power supply. One is SMPS, another one is UPS. So this SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. So we will study one by one. So first one is SMPS. So this SMPS is a converter. Okay. So it is a SMPS, not it is a converter, it converts. So SMPS converts AC power. So AC means alternating current. So this convert AC power from the electrical outlet. It means sockets in the which is coming from the transistors or power supply. So that AC power is converted to DC, means direct current power. So which is needed for the system components, that we call it as SMPS. So very important, listen carefully. SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. So this SMPS converts AC power from electrical outlet to the DC power needed by the system components. Okay, so SMPS converts AC power from AC means alternating current power from the electrical outlet to the direct current DC power needed by the system components. So system components ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ power utilization ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. So this uses power cord plug and fan. Okay, so this SMPS has a power cord plug and the fan. So this uses fan because of cooling the systems, right? So it generates a lot of current, right? So heat ಜಾಸ್ತಿ generate ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ it should be cooled so that it has a fan to cool it. Okay, so this SMPS has a power cord plug, so to connect the power, so it has power cord plug and a fan for cooling. So why? Because it generates a more heat. Okay, so that's why it has a fan. Okay, so next this SMPS I told it converts AC to DC, right? So in normal PC means personal computer, normal computers, it converts 230 volts of AC means AC current in the DC convert ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. So how much means, so around 230 volts of AC current is converted to 8 to 12 volts of DC current. Okay, so this SMPS converts 230 volts of AC current to 8 to 12 volts of DC current. Okay, so AC ಇಷ್ಟು AC current ನ around ಈ range ಅಲ್ಲಿ DC current ಆಗಿ convert ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this converts this voltage, so it has a weightage of around 180 to 300 watts. Okay, so ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ 180 ಇಂದ 300 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಪವರ್ ನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ 180 to 450 ಆರ್ 500 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ದ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ PC consumes the power is 180 to 300 watts. It depends on the monitor. Okay, so if we are using normal LCD, normal monitor, it differs from the LCD monitor. Okay, so based on that utilization, it uses it consumes the different watts. Okay, so normally per hour it requires 200 watts. Okay, so if it is using 8 hours a day, it requires 600 watts, kilowatts. Okay, so this is about SMPS. SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. So SMPS converts AC power from the electrical outlet to DC power needed by the system components. So this SMPS has a power cord plug-in to connect the power, and it has a fan for cooling. Why? Because it generates heat. Okay, so and then it converts a normal PC has 230 volts to volts of AC current to 8 to 12 volts of DC current. So and that weightage is 180 to 300 watts or 180 to 450 watts or 500 watts. So this is about SMPS. Okay, so next we have UPS. So next one is UPS. So UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. So this UPS is a power supply. So it is a power supply and it involves a battery. why we use UPS in the houses? So we are using this UPS because whenever the power is lost or power failure occurs, then we will use UPS, right, to supply the power. So power UPS we have one battery, right? So a battery inda namage power supply aagtirutte. So UPS is a power supply that includes a battery. Okay, so that includes a battery to maintain a power. To maintain power. So ಯಾವಾಗ maintain ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? When the event occurs of a power loss. So ಯಾವಾಗ power loss ಆಗುತ್ತೋ or power failure ಆಗುತ್ತೋ, then it will uses this battery. So what is mean by UPS means? So UPS is a power supply which includes a battery to maintain the power when the event of power failure occurs. Okay, so that we call it as UPS. So UPS is a power supply that includes a battery to maintain the power when the event occurs of a power loss or power failure. That we call it as UPS. So this UPS is working after the failure of the power, right? So power loss adaga or power failure adaga UPS work agutte. So this will be worked after the power failure. It may work for the several minutes to few hours. Okay, so after the power failure, the CPU or the computer keeps running for a several minutes to few hours. Okay, power loss ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ the system will running for the several minutes or a few hours. Okay, so that is about UPS. So in this UPS we have two types. Okay, so one is offline UPS, another one is online UPS. Okay, so this offline UPS is also called as standby UPS. Okay, so this offline UPS is also called as standby UPS and second one is online UPS. So this offline UPS is required for a several or minutes to switch on the battery. Okay, so offline UPS ಯಾವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ when these two UPSs are used whenever the power gets off, right? So this offline UPS requires a milliseconds to switch on the battery when the power gets lost. Okay, so ಯಾವಾಗ power loss ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಥವಾ when the system doesn't get power for a minute, so then it will activate the or switch on the battery after a milliseconds. That is about offline UPS. Okay, offline UPS means ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪವರ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ವೋ on that time it will activate the UPS battery. For that activation it needs milliseconds. Okay, so that is about offline UPS or standby UPS. So next we have online UPS. So this online UPS is used continuously by using the inverter. So with this help of inverter, so this inverter converts the DC current to AC current. Okay, so if it is taking two binary numbers or the signals, that will be converted to AC current, right? So with the help of this inverter, so it will convert the DC current to AC current. So this online UPS utilizes the power continuously when the power supply is also there. Okay, so ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ UPS inventors, with the help of inventors it will supply the power. So in this it doesn't have any power loss between system and the ಇನ್ವೆಂಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪವರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವೋ ಆಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿನ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ UPS, ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಇದ್ರೂ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಪವರ್ ಟು ದ systems. So that is about online UPS. So this online UPS is more costlier compared to offline UPS. So this is about UPS. So UPS is a power supply which has a battery to maintain the power. So whenever gets power loss or power failure. So in this we have two types. One is offline UPS, another one is online UPS. This offline UPS is also called as standby UPS. So this UPS is used to switch on the battery for a milliseconds after the power loss happens. So this online UPS is passing without overlapping or without losing the power. It will supply the power to the system with the help of inverter. So this online UPS is very costlier compared to this offline UPS. So this is about power supply. So power supply has two types. One is SMPS, another one is UPS. So this completes this first chapter, typical configuration of computer system. So in this chapter we studied about motherboard, and then what is motherboard, what are the characteristics of motherboard, components of motherboard. After that we will study memory and then power supply. So in this chapter they will ask 4 marks, one question from 1 mark and 3 mark questions. Okay, so 2 questions from this chapter. So very important concept is in this chapter is, one is characteristics of motherboard and then components of motherboard. So in these components of motherboard they may ask particularly to explain slots or explain CMOS like that. Otherwise they will simply ask explain the components of motherboard. So after this they may ask explain the expansion slots, and then IO ports, very important. IO ports, different ports na explain ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Otherwise they will ask explain serial port, parallel port like that. After this they may ask difference between the RAM and ROM like that. And then very important thing is power supply. Okay, they may ask explain SMPS or UPS. So many times they ask about UPS, what is UPS and what are the different types of UPS, and explain this. So these are the important concepts in this chapter. Okay, this and this module. Thank you.